back in line with many other exchanges except for Ethereum. So that's very good news. All the other facilities at Bybit, including Bybit Card, deposits, and most withdrawals except for Ethereum are working. Let's see. I'd like to see if there's any questions I could uh, answer. So there was talk about market makers leaving Bybit, and this is a no. Actually, many of our market makers have reached out, and with very kind words of support. Our competitors have also reached out. Many of our partners have reached out. I think due to the backlog in terms of withdrawals, it is sometimes more difficult market makers uh, to make markets. You need that fluidity in the withdrawals for that to happen. But I think if you could see, this has come back. The markets are priced in for many of our tokens in line with the rest of the market. And I think I'll go back to some of the more popular questions. One of the most popular question was, "Are we going to buy Ethereum in the market?" You know, and and Ben mentioned earlier, we're actually getting a bridge loan to fill the withdrawals from the exchange, and we do not know what we're going to do in terms of uh, being short Ethereum versus another asset. This will be a management decision we'll talk about later. There is a possibility as we're working with authorities and potentially recovering all or partial part of the assets. Don't want to affect Ethereum prices because I think that's what everyone's talking about right now. And I think this has happened almost 4 hours ago. And if we get more information, we'll share it. As everyone knows, at Bybit, we believe in transparency. This time it is we're not sure what happened, if it was a combination of our computers getting hacked, or if there's one of our system providers that might have had some issues. We believe in complete transparency. Once we get more details, we will share with the community.
From our cold wallet to the warm wallet. When we saw the transaction, it was business as usual. Um, I can, at least speaking for my part, I was the last signer of this transaction. When this transaction came, it was a normal URL. I double checked. It was the safe URL from the official safe website. We always use the official website. So that was one of the safety protocols we deployed, is to check. So I checked on that. I click on the link and checked, and then I checked on the UI the destination address to make sure that it is our warm wallet, and we have a procedure to make sure that it is what we saw. So all of that checked out, and the initial transfer that we made was around, I believe, 30,000 ETH. It was not the full amount. So I saw the transaction. I'm the last signer, so I clicked on sign. Um, and I use a ledger as a hardware device for the last signing part. Okay. So after I sign, and I also check the ledger screen, One of the issues with, at least from my experience with the Ethereum related cold wallet transfer, is that it doesn't exactly shows the destination. It shows a lot of code. So it's not. So I checked the code, but I didn't check fully. If normally also the address, the destination address, is not inside of that multi-sig signing. So I signed. After signing, 30 minutes later, then we got the emergency call that our cold Ethereum wallet is drained. Okay, so this is what happened. I will come back to the story, but I think I understand there's a lot of questions being asked right now. Uh, First of all, is we've identified that the hacked and the cold wallet that's being signed is the Ethereum cold wallet under Safe Wallet. No other cold wallet is affected. Our Bitcoin, which is our major reserve, is not affected, and our Bitcoin reserve does not use the safe mechanism. However, we do have other wallets that's on Ethereum, whether it's USDT or other ERC20 token that also uses Safe. For now, we are not touching those wallets, and from what we've seen so far, it's only the one we signed that's being compromised. From currently, what we've understand is that there could be multiple reasons how this happened. But before we go into this detail, I want to say that so the maximum damage that we have witnessed currently so far is the total amount of around 401,000 Ethereum that's been hacked. This is the affected amount. No other amount or no other balances is compromised. Bybit hot wallet is not compromised. Bybit warm wallet is not compromised. Is our one of our Ethereum, well, the Ethereum cold wallet, which we rely on Safe, uh, that was compromised, which I will get to the what happened. I think what might happen soon. Now, before we go there, I want to say that currently Bybit is still processing withdrawals. I will give you the latest update. We've experienced massive withdrawals since the last 2 hours, and we currently have about, as of maybe 10 minutes ago, 4,000 withdrawal pending. That's because we need to move liquidity into chains. Okay. And also, some of these bigger amounts are undergoing the regular review by risk team and security team. And that's just regular platform process whenever a user requests a withdrawal to a destination. Some of them we undergoing these. But I want to rest assure our community that the withdrawal currently is still open, and I believe for majority of our clients, your withdrawal has already been processed. Okay, so that's what's going on now. And next is that I think many clients will open up the floor. I'll get to some of the questions very soon. Some of the clients are asking, are my money safe? Yes, I want to guarantee that. Bybit is one-to-one packed, meaning that we do a monthly proof of reserve, audited proof of reserve, meaning that um, all of the money is in the wallet, meaning that if even today, all of the Bybit client withdraw, we can give your withdrawals. With regard to the act amount, which is around 400,000 ETH, uh, even the Bybit treasury, we can cover that. So no matter what, we will make sure all of the clients' money are safe. So your money is safe. Our withdrawal is still open, and some of the withdrawals might take a bit of time as we are go through the regular checks. But we are aiming at processing all the withdrawals within a few hours. Okay, so I want to rest assured that. Luckily, it is a sad event, but luckily, it's only the Ethereum cold wallet that's compromised. So we are able to cover these with our treasury, if that's the case, worst case scenario. Okay. Um, Okay, so I think a lot of people are asking. Let's see, what are some of the other questions the clients have? Um, yeah, some of the clients says, if the funds are safe, why do I need to wait, right? Uh, Again, we've already processed around 70% of the withdrawals, and the peak withdrawal have passed. We are really processing the last bit. That's a typical processing time because we've experienced. We saw almost 100 times increase withdrawal amount than our regular times. So we are processing them. Okay. Someone's asking who will cover the loss. We will try our best to chase the fund, and we also rely on your help or our partners' help, and then we will of course seek legal and also police support to recover this fund. But again, worst come to worst, our client's fund is not going to suffer. We will cover it with our company treasuries. Okay. Um, yeah. So I think um, these are some of the biggest questions that clients have. If your withdrawals are still on the way or under reviewing, please give us some time. We will get to your withdrawals basically within the hours. Okay, and all of the clients' withdrawals we uh, um, will be processed. Okay, it is an unfortunate event, but we are also seeing that a lot of the clients and our partners from all over the world are reaching out to me and my team, offer help. So thank you so much for all these kind gestures and all your help. And if we need your help, we will reach out for sure. Okay. Um, in terms of the stolen amount, we do need the security team globally. If you can help us to track the ongoing where the fund are going, where the fund is being flowing, and maybe we can find a way eventually to track them down, or it goes to a centralized exchange that can help us to locate these stolen fund. Okay. Um, yes. So some clients asking, will Bybit buy the missing gap of Ethereum to cover these lost? Um, for immediate sake, we are currently reaching out to our partners to give us a bridge loan. So currently we're not buying, and even if we want to buy, it's too big of amount to be moving around. But we are getting help and support from our partners. We actually already secured almost 80% of the Ethereum that's been stolen um, as the bridge loan to give us that liquidity, to help us with the liquidity crunch, so we can pass this crucial period. Okay, so we are not buying ETH at the moment. We are relying on a bridge loan from our partners to help us. Okay, so this is some of the ongoing questions. Um, okay. Does it matter if you withdraw Bitcoin, USDT, or other tokens other than um, Ethereum? Oh no, it doesn't matter. Our other tokens are not affected. So even if you withdraw ETH, we are getting a bridge loan to help you to satisfy withdrawal. Rest stolen amount, and Bybit has always kept one-to-one to our clients' asset back to back. So even if we are experiencing a bank run, uh, which we already witnessed in the previous 2 hours, it's not an issue. We have enough tokens to give to the clients for withdrawals. Okay. Um, all right. So yeah, so maybe I go back to the incidents. Okay, let's see. So I'm getting some of the latest updates. We've also had a massive increase on our customer support channel. Currently, we have 120 people on queue waiting to be served. By the way, all of the Bybit staff is right awake right now, all hands on deck. All of our support, all of our withdrawer, all of our risk team, compliance team, everyone is up and to serve you, to answer any of the questions. And Bybit is here. So if you, and I'm here, I'm online. So if you need to speak to us, you can come to us, okay? It is a sad event that happened, but we want to make sure that our clients feel safe. And we are here, okay? Now we have 120 in the queue, but at maximum we had about a few thousand, but now it's been reducing, and we are servicing all of them. Okay, yeah, correct. Okay, so and currently we have about. I'm asking the team to give me uh, give me a update on the withdrawal. So as the last update, we have about 3,500 withdrawal requests that's been waiting in the queue, but I think we are clearing them. Okay. Okay. Um, yes. So we also see some of the withdrawals have been already approved, but through our hot wallet, there's some network congestions. So again, if you have withdrawal requests, please wait patiently. We'll get to you within a few hours, basically. Okay. There's a bit of congestions on the network also of the hot wallet. Okay. Okay. Um, right. Okay. Clients asking, does Bybit really have the money to cover the client the loss? Yes. So this is what I said already. Yes. In terms of total AUM, total clients asset, Bybit have about more than 20 billion, and this stolen Ethereum is around 1/20th, 1/25th of the total AUM. Okay, so we do have a lot of clients, and this and yeah, and currently our security team is also running through all of the other cold wallet to make sure that it's not affected. Again, the only cold wallet that's been affected is the Ethereum cold wallet, which we did multi-sign it tonight. And what happened, so maybe I can go back to the story on what exactly happened, at least from the latest update that I have gotten, is that um, the hacker have managed to either some way, somehow uh, hack the UI of all of the signers' computer so that although we saw it was the correct URL of the safe wallet, I'm not accusing anything. It could be that the safe server was hacked, so it was sending this, but we don't know. We don't know. We are actually working very closely with the safe team to uncover what happened. Okay, and the latest update I got was that Safe is also pausing their side of servicing to check what exactly happened. So we are checking on both sides. But from our side, we saw the correct UI, we saw the correct address, and then we signed it, right? So it could be our all of the signers PC were hacked, some and then the UI was completely staged. Um, yeah, and what happened is the signing message was not to changing the address or the destination or the amount of this specific transfer that we approved. The hacker changed that transaction into upgrading or changing the safe smart contract logic so that he got gain control over the whole over that Ethereum specific Ethereum Genesis safe, and so that he can transfer these funds out. So that's our current understanding. We have the team on full speed checking exactly what happened, and yeah, yeah, okay, uh, yeah. So these are the I think that some of the major questions people are asking. Yes, one of the users asking, have we received from other exchange and partners to help block the fine, if any? Yes, I think this really shows the strength of the industry. We've received pretty much from all the major exchange. I think Binance, MEXC, KuCoin, Gate, pretty much all the major players offering help uh, uh, to help with this thing. So deeply appreciate, and I think it really shows that when an incident like this happens, the industry gets together. So thank you very much for that. Okay. Bybit is clients asking, will Bybit any time suspend withdrawal or cancel withdrawal?
So I actually
We
just
don't
got a
have the plan
message.
to suspend or
Hold
cancel
on real
withdrawal.
quick. Let me mute this. So yeah, the blockchain report just made a very valid point. AI, AI building like an AI bot or something like that that could basically mitigate the risk on these exchanges and just us as individuals, investors. Um, being able to use AI to check, double check, triple check, from endless angles to ensure that there is no exploit on the smart contract, to ensure that a lot of these tricks that these hackers use to steal people's funds and to access people's wallets. And yeah, AI would be a great tool to be able to even if it's the AI scrubs it and then it still requires a human to do it. I mean, it would be a great way again just to mitigate the risk. Great call out from the blockchain report, Jeff.
Audited. So all of the Bible, yeah, the Bible Reserve is audited. If you go to Google and search for Bible Proof of Reserve, you see it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Yeah. Okay. I think I've answered most of the questions. I will go offline now. I need to get more updates of the incidents. And if there's more update, I'll open up another live stream. But before that, we'll keep this one as a record, and then we can keep playing these things. Okay. So maybe Sun Yet. Actually, why not? Yeah, I will get Sun Yet, who is our head of derivatives, online to answer some of maybe the questions I already answered. So maybe Sun Yet can answer as well for the new joiners. Okay.
Anybody watching
And then I will get
on
the
or
more
YouTube,
updates on the front
feel
line.
free to
Okay. I'll see you
add
in a
your
bit. Thank you.
comments. And I've actually
Thank
been
you.
spending the past hour or so since this all got announced,
Ben's going to be busy. We're going to make some
doing
decisions
some
on,
research on
and right now I think
what's
there's
going
been
on with
a
this
few
and how it might
questions that have
affect the
been asked,
market.
and I'll
So
try to
feel free to throw out any
answer them
questions you
as I
have.
know. I think we discovered this about 2 hours ago. It affected our
Dividend use
Ethereum
down
cold wallet,
5%.
so those assets have been taken. Some
No
people have asked
dividend
why
on
is the
long
cold
term.
wallet. We're still investigating, and one of the things I think we always want to keep making clear is that our treasury can
The
cover
market
all
hasn't
the
found its
funds
bottom yet.
lost. So that's not going to be an issue.
Bloom's up.
I think the
Bloom
other
and
thing a lot
Bloomwell
of
on
people
the
are
hour.
asking is,
They're both up.
why are
Bloom is
my
up
withdrawals blocked? Why
1.5%
is it taking
and
so long?
Moonwell's up
So I'm
1.1%.
going to be honest here. It's 100 times of where
Two
you're
projects
getting
I
through,
am very
and
bullish on.
working through them.
This
It is becoming a
actually,
manual approval process for some of it.
here, I'll pause it real quick. There's some good info that they're putting out. Those of you that are on Bybit and, obviously all of us in the market, but Plume is a great project that is still, it's still like 3,152 by market cap. I mean, it is a much smaller market cap and, a riskier play. I'll definitely put that out there. I don't have a huge bag of it, a little over 10,000 Plume. but it's something that I'm definitely plussing up. Those of you that don't know that might be new to the channel, I do a lot of DeFi and share. I've been sharing kind of my journey so far over the past like 2.5, 3 months since I started. I'm averaging probably, I'd say 20 to 50%. The first month, I did a 50% return on the money that I had in my DeFi portfolio. Second month was February, like end of January, beginning of February. And as you know, the markets kind of started to take a downturn. I think I still did about a 30%, 30 or 40%. And then this past month has been about, I'd say about 20%. I've made about $2,000 on, so far this month. And all of which I'm, especially with the market being as down as it is right now, I'm rolling back in to plus up bags like, Morpho, bought more Ondo, bought more Chainlink, bought more Moonwell, my whole bag of Plume was from DeFi earnings. So, these downturns in the market, don't let them fudge you out. These are opportunities. If you really believe in crypto, blockchain technology, and the use cases that are being built out, we are so early in this. I mean, governments, just over the past year, have just started drafting legislation around this. They wouldn't be paying this much attention to it and drafting legislation if this wasn't here to stay. You have to look past price. Do not let price and these downturns, fud you out. You can zoom out on any chart. Me and Jeff did a live stream a couple days ago. These markets could not be more primed for a pump and for an epic pump than they are right now. The big institutions that, by regulations and, by law couldn't get in before recently, they are scrambling behind the scenes to buy and stack as much Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, all these blue chips that everyone's always talking about. They are scrambling to do their best to stack their bags because they're late to the game. The lack of regulation held them back. Those of us that have been stacking the past couple of years through this, past bear market and prior cycles. I wasn't there for all that. I've been here for the past 4 years, all through the bear market. I've never seen a bull market. I'll be 100% honest with you. I've been here for nothing but the downturn and the doldrums. So I'm numb to downturns in the market. I'll be honest with you. So yeah, everything that I see, and I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not an expert in crypto. I'll be the first to admit that. I'm just chronicling my journey and being transparent and showing you all what I'm doing. So, yeah, it's, you got BlackRock, that, you got Coinbase, you have Fidelity, you have JP Morgan Chase, the list goes on. You have MicroStrategy, and I think they're called Strategy now or something like that. But you have all these major institutions that are just dumping hundreds of billions of dollars into this market to stack, and it is just a fraction of their assets under management. As this becomes more regulated, you are going to see more inflows. Granted, a lot of those inflows are off book, so it doesn't affect the price. And that's what's going on right now, is all of these institutions are buying, Bitcoin through ETFs and things like that don't pump the market. They will pump the market. They will employ market makers just like centralized exchanges and things like that. And with a $3 trillion total market cap of all crypto, it is easily manipulated. All you have to do is manipulate Bitcoin. The way the market is now is everything moves with Bitcoin. All you have to do is manipulate Bitcoin a little bit up or down, and the whole market freaks the fuck out. You can see it right now, even with Ethereum. You get this huge hack. $1.4 billion got hacked from Bybit. they that is a huge blow to the market, and you see it. I mean, it's weird because right when the market was about to pump, Trump from Argentina, another meme coins, and the market doesn't pump again. This morning, about 3 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, the market started to show that it was going to start to pump. ETH even got above $2,800 for the first time in God knows how long, weeks it seems. I know because I have a liquidity pair with ETH USDC, and I've been letting it sit, and earn. It's been great. The sideways trending has been great on DeFi. But as soon as it started happening, all of a sudden there's a huge ETH hack, and obviously, and people start trying to withdraw their funds from Bybit and start offloading, their ETH because of the dump that everyone knew was going to come, based off the FUD, because everyone is so emotional, especially retail, about events like this. So my point is, if you allow your emotions to dictate how you buy and sell and how you invest, you are going to get wrecked. It is just a very, very good idea to don't listen to social media, don't buy hype, don't buy green candles, do your own research, look into these projects, buy things that you are passionate about. Like me, myself, I'm big into DeFi. So of course, and Base is my favorite chain. Just because of the ease of use, with the Coinbase wallet, things like that. But Aerodrome, Ondo, the tokenization of real world assets, they are going to be the go-to for treasuries. BlackRock is using Ondo to tokenize their U.S. treasuries, their offerings. It is just the tip of the iceberg as far as tokenization of real world assets and the liquidity that it is going to inject onto these chains. The TVL, total value locked. The more liquidity that gets locked up onto these chains, the more valuable they are going to become. Just like a stock, the more revenue, like Amazon, the more revenue that they generate, the more value that they have, the larger their stock price, or the higher their stock price. Chainlink, multiple projects, they're working with pretty much anyone and everyone as far as an oracle, cross-chain interoperability. They're working with Ondo, they're working with Plume, they're working with just endless projects. Let's see what else we got. Morpho is the Coinbase's go-to for all of their Bitcoin lending. So, when it comes to BlackRock and Coinbase, all the DeFi plays to where people are going to be able, because it's going to get to a point where most people do not sell their Bitcoin. Why would you? If you can take a loan out against it, and not not a high leverage loan. Basically what you do is you deposit your Bitcoin, and you could take out a loan against it. It could be 1, 2, 3% loan. As long as Bitcoin doesn't dump, if it's a 3% loan, as long as it doesn't dump, 97-ish%, you don't get liquidated. So you can take out a loan, keep all your Bitcoin, and because you deposited it, you're earning a yield. What that yield will fluctuate, and then you can take out a loan. The fact that you lent it mitigates the interest that you're paying on that loan. So if you're lending it for 5% and borrowing it for 8%, it's actually only a 3% interest that you're paying on that loan that you took out. And and of course, whatever you do with that loan could further mitigate that and even make it profitable. I mean, you could buy another crypto that you can lend out that's offering 10, 20, 30%. and be, in profit. Like if it's 30%, then you'd end up with, 20, because, you had the 5, the 8, you're paying 3, you're getting 30. So now you're making 27% profit off of the loan. I hope that makes sense. So if you're not bullish on what is going on right now in these markets, this is your opportunity. Zoom out. Do not buy into this FUD that is, and just this doom and gloom and the clickbait titles of, are we going to crash, and is crypto over, and the big blowjob faces that everybody does, the oh, and all this stupid shit. Don't pay attention to that. Look at data. Go to DeFi Llama. Go to these data data aggregation tools that show you the inflows of crypto, and stable coins, the inflows of liquidity, the activity, the buying of these big institutions. It's, if you start digging into these things, there is no way that you're going to be bearish, but you have to do your own research and not expect to be spoon fed. It's like mainstream media. Mainstream media is going to tell you whatever their masters tell you, tell them to tell you, because they want to influence you. That Kramer, the one that everyone always talks about, Bitcoin's trash and all that stuff. The whole time Bitcoin is going up, and it's the best performing asset in the history of freaking investing. The reverse Kramer. I honestly believe that fucker is paid off by banks, and Fidelity, and all these different investment groups to basically tell retail the opposite of what basically what they want them to do, the opposite of what they're doing, so that they can capitalize. If he's saying buy something, they're selling it and using those people as exit liquidity. So you have to do your own research. And it's the great thing about crypto. Crypto has these tools because of the transparency of it. You can see on-chain data and analytics that the large institutions used to pay tens of millions of dollars to have access to, that was exclusive to them, and why they were able to get the jump on me and you in the traditional stock markets. We have those tools now. You just need to learn how to use them. Oh yeah, absolutely, Peter. Yeah, blowjob faces. Fuck those. Dude, it's fucking ridiculous. Some of these thumbnails people put up. So yes, mainstream media, I don't know when it happened. Maybe it's always been that way. It used to be that, when I was young, I'm 50 years old. When I was young, you could watch the news and it felt like news. It was just like, this is not my opinion. This is something that happened. Draw your own conclusions. Now it just feels dirty. Every time I watch it, I'm like, really? And I have to go online, and you have to check Twitter, and you got to Google some stuff, got to use some AI. You almost have to be like your own, media outlet, these days to find the truth. The truth is out there, and you just have to fucking find it. So anyway, sorry, got a little bit of a soapbox there. I'll let this run a little bit more, and we'll see what they have to say.
So it is going through, and you could see that in the chain. I think, let's see what other questions we have. And I think Ben mentioned that it will be 1 for 1. There is people have been asking about, will we be buying back the Ethereum that was stolen? So right now, I think we're working with our partners to get a bridge loan, and then we're gonna, once we get enough, we'll potentially open up that ability to withdraw Ethereum. Right now, that is not available. So you cannot withdraw with Ethereum from our system right now. So please patient there. Do we have any clue where the hack came from? I think we're still investigating, and we're finding out. If we get any more information, I'll try to alert the group. Let's see. What measures are you taking to prevent this from happening again? I think, we don't want to say this, but other exchanges have been hacked in the past. We actually, I think, have made the procedure internally quite sophisticated, and we're, following the most, I guess, common secure internal practice. I think we're going to have a big internal review later to see what actually happened, and of course, we're working with our security partner to find out what happened. So I think there's been a lot of questions out there. There are some products that are Bybit and that are sort of exclusive to Bybit. I do. Some people have asked, things have depegged and then they've come back. Our market makers have come back. I think one of our products is very popular, BB Soul, depegged, and the market makers have come back. I think there's other product partners that have come back, and the market makers are coming back. Let's see. And I think there's questions, that keep asking about, is Bybit backed one to one? Right now, your assets are safe. Our treasury does cover, all the outstanding assets that are from our clients. But Ethereum, as we said, we have a bridge loan, and the decision right now, a trading decision as to what we will do, to cover the ETH exposure, we don't know. I think we're going to have an internal management meeting to see what is the best course of action, because there is a possibility that we can recover some of the assets, and many of our partners at other exchanges. And I think at times like this, I'm actually quite happy I'm in this industry. All of my counterparts at other exchanges are very understanding, and they've all gave it words like, "Hey, you'll get through this. This has happened before. We support Bybit. You are a good exchange." A lot of our employees are all very supportive, and we believe we'll get through this as a matter of time. And I think just please be patient. So there's a question, the size of Bybit's treasury. Uh, I think, though this is honest, is that so the treasury part of it is, what is an insurance fund, and then there's a lot of assets that's, I think the proper answer is owned by the partners in the firm, and they keep all their assets in the firm. I'm not sure, how we.
All right. So real quick, actually, I want to share this because again, I like to be fully transparent. So my DeFi portfolio, this is a part of it. This is VFAT. This is where I have four of my liquidity pools, and you can see, just now, over here, you can kind of see, because Ethereum has been dumping. I mean, it was almost $2,800, and I was when the market before this news came out. I was actually looking at rebalancing because I want keep getting that price appreciation and earning fees. But you can see it's dumped out the bottom. So I'm out of range on two of my positions. My USDC VVV, or Venice, the AI. It's been out of range for quite a while now. I should probably cut my losses on it, but I'm being stubborn. Wrapped ETH and Morpho still well in range. Earning 1,000% APR. So off of the $1,100 I have in there, I'm making about $34 a day right now. USDC Arrow making about 156%. So off the 1,700 in there, making about $750 a day. And then I was making about $50 a day on the wrapped ETH USDC, which is kind of my gravy train. My 5,500 or 5,300 that I have in there currently. Obviously, that goes up as the price of ETH goes up. But I just cashed out this morning when everything was pumping because I wanted to get some more Morpho. So I cashed out about $200 that I had built up over the past like 2 or 3 days. No matter what the market does, trend sideways, any sideways or up and right market, you're going to do well in DeFi. Even in a down market, you can make some good money lending. I would stay away from automated market makers, AMMs. Definitely stay away from concentrated liquidity pools. Unless it's like a USDC USDT pair or something like that. But something to keep in mind, as this market starts to pump, pretty much anything you do in DeFi, you're gonna make money. To what extent, you have to do the math, and stuff like that. How it's going to perform compared to just hodling, that's a whole nother story. I have a bunch of videos out there that goes over that, so I won't go down that road. But pretty much when these markets start to rip, uh, you're there's a lot of room for error. You can make some pretty stupid moves in DeFi and still, come out on top. It'll just affect, how profitable you are. You need to start. Don't get caught up in the euphoria when this happens. It's gonna happen. I fully believe that. Don't get caught up in the euphoria. As it starts to happen, make sure that you're taking profits. Start peeling some of those fees, that you're earning. Start peeling those out of the markets. Put those aside. USDC, USDT stables, put those aside. Maybe put some of them into places like, on Coinbase or, some of these DeFi platforms, more reputable ones, where you can just lend out those assets. That way you're not using a liquidity pool. It's not DCAing you in and out of positions. It's not rebalancing. It's not doing any of those sorts of things. If you put $100,000 of USDC on one of these platforms, pretty much your only risk is either you getting hacked, the platform getting hacked or going out of business, or USDC depegging and going to zero. And if that happens, you have a lot bigger things to worry about. So lending by far, in my opinion, from my research, is probably your safest bet as you're DCAing out. I'm personally not going to off ramp into fiat because why? It depreciates. There's not a whole lot I can do with it. There's a couple of savings accounts at different banks that you can earn a couple of percent APR, but why? Like if you want the security, put it on Uphold. It's a custodian, an exchange, and they're fully backed, FDIC. You can do more than $250,000. Usually in a bank they only insure up to $250,000, like in your account. They will actually break up your assets into separate accounts so that you can insure millions if you want on their platform. They're fully backed 1-to-1. They go through, I think it's weekly or monthly audits, like proof of reserves. So U.S. based, they're fully regulated, all that stuff. It's probably where I'm going to put a lot of my funds is places like Uphold, things like that, cold storage. Again, I will do, like maybe 10, 20%, as the market's crashing, I'll have in stables earning. And then of course, when I feel like that the market, the bear market bottom ish has hit, I obviously can't time the bottom, but I'll start DCing into solid projects. I'll start, getting back into my liquidity pools, getting back into my DeFi, start using those profits to, DCA into, the promising projects that are, old projects, blue chips, balanced portfolio, 30% or 50%, Bitcoin and, liquidity pools like that, blue chip, and then 25% or 30% in, maybe, more riskier plays. And then, do 10% or 20%, higher risk, higher yield, plays. But, that's kind of my strategy, my game plan. And I'm looking for a 10X. My portfolio, I got roughly, $60,000 right now. At one point, it was $100,000 before everything tanked the past couple of months. But I'm looking for a 10x, anything from $500,000 to $1 million, and I'm out. I am not going to try to time the top. I'll be, of course, be DCAing out, but as soon as I have over in that range, I'll be majority out. I'll have like 20%, 10% in there, in case everything keeps mooning and we get an extended bull run like everyone's talking about, things like that. Hey, what up, C90? So yeah, anyway, I mean, I always just like to share, kind of how my portfolio is doing, good or bad, because I really want people to understand DeFi. I don't want people to just think that DeFi is this magic golden ticket, that's gonna, take them to Valhalla, as far as making money. It's done great for me. Again, even these downturns. I started out with about $15,000. Right now, I'm sitting at what 312. I'm sitting at about $14,000. So even with like all this bullshit that's going on right now and the market's tanking, like 40, 50% over the past couple of months, my DeFi portfolio is still the same value as it was. I've earned probably 40, 50% over the past, 2, 3 months in earnings. So it offset those losses. That's the power of DeFi. It's like, yeah, looking at it sucks. It's like I would love to see it at, $30,000 or $40,000, but I don't look at the dollar amount. I look at my token amounts, and my token amounts are a lot more than they were 2, 3 months ago in my DeFi portfolio. So when the market recovers, goes back to where it was at before, and Bitcoin is back up, and ETH and all these other project alts are back up, my DeFi portfolio is probably going to be like 40, 50 grand, and if it keeps pumping, my DeFi portfolio very easily could end up being, freaking, $200,000, $300,000 by itself without the rest of my HODL bags. So I highly suggest that people start learning about DeFi. These returns are not going to last forever. As more and more people get into this, it's going to dilute it. There's going to be more and more liquidity in these pools, and with more liquidity, the fees that are being generated, if the amount of people making these swaps, because that's how you're earning. Like my wrapped ETH USDC, I'm earning based off people swapping between USDC and wrapped ETH, or wrapped ETH to USDC. If the amount of people that are putting, injecting liquidity into the pool to allow that, if the amount of people making swaps doesn't match that increase, then it's the earnings are going to go down. So basically the volume, and that's why when you're picking these, liquidity pools, two of the main indicators that you want to look at is the TVL, or total value locked, which is the amount of liquidity in there, because you don't want to get hit with slippage. If it's low TVL, when you enter and exit, you're going to get dinged with slippage. Second is volume. You want the volume to be equal to or greater than the TVL daily. That means that there's a bunch of people doing swaps and you're earning those fees. That's what you want to look at. I got my little actually, you know what? I'll share it real quick. So if you're not following me, this is my profile right here. Just veteran, the number 4 crypto. Go ahead and follow me there. But these, I can't take credit for them. I got them from Crypto Labs Research, which is another great tool. I have a bunch of DeFi videos. And I'll be honest, I learned a lot of what I know from Crypto Labs Research. They've been a great resource, and they have a free, like kind of online academy that you can sign up for and learn like a lot of the terminology, how the liquidity pools work, what divergence loss is, what slippage is, all those different things, all these different platforms. But this right here, I made the image. So these are my personal rules, and like I said, they're pretty much their rules for DeFi. So first of all, believe in the assets. Don't enter a liquidity pool with assets that you wouldn't be comfortable holding long term. If these markets crashed and we went into another bear market right now, would you be cool with holding that asset for another 3 years, like Peter? You were saying you've been around for as long as I have, since the last crash. Would you be comfortable holding those assets? Do you believe in those assets and the fundamentals? Again, TVL 250K or higher, 24-hour volume needs to be higher than the TVL. Trusted DEX, or decentralized exchange like Aerodrome, Morpho, Uniswap, platforms like that, time tested. High correlation. If you're getting into a concentrated liquidity pool, I have some videos that show it. There's a really good tool on DeFi Llama that shows correlation. Correlation being that the two assets that are in the pool, if it's not like a USDC, like say it's ETH and Bitcoin, are they moving together? Are they correlated? If Bitcoin goes down, is ETH pretty much going down at the same rate? They might fluctuate a little bit, but you're trying to stay within a range. And so if those two assets, basically if one goes up and one goes down and they go out of that range, you're going to get divergence loss. So you want them to go up and down together and stay in that range. And so you want a high correlation. Hope that makes sense. Again, you want to look at the chart. And I have videos that show this. You can copy the liquidity pool address. You can go to, what is it called? You can go to Dex Screener. And on Dex Screener, you can copy and paste that address. Actually, you know what? I'll just show you real quick, just in case anyone's interested. All right. So let me pull one up real quick. All right. So, hey, what's up, Deadwood? I'm just doing an impromptu stream. We'll probably I'll be doing another one with Jeff tonight. Probably I want to talk about Sonic and show some of the DeFi platforms that are on Sonic. Looks like that's where the liquidity is going next. And actually, I don't have any liquidity pools over there, and I definitely want to at least get one or two over there. Diversify across different chains. So this is a great way to pick a pool. I'm just going to walk you through how I personally do it. So let me connect my wallet real quick. I don't know why it disconnected. And you'll be able to see. All right. So right here, let's do this one. You have a USDC Arrow pair. You can see that the TVL is $59 million, well above 250K. Fucking awesome. We can check volume here in a second, but right here, you can see contract. And, this is the contract address. You just want to click on it and it copies it. And this is on BFAT. This is how I do it. Go over to here, go to this search, just paste it right in there. Oh, sorry. Let me share it. Let me go back. All right. So again, I copied that. Click up here in the top left. You get search. Right click, paste. Push that address. You can see Arrow USDC on Aerodrome on the base chain, of course. Click on it, and it will bring up the chart. So as you can see, it has good volume. You can look over here to the right, and let's see, where's our volume at? Got liquidity, price. Here we go. Volume, $9.7 million. Awesome volume, awesome TVL, like in titties. And you can look. So on the aerodrome has been trending down 100%. So, but for the past little while here, it feels like we've found a bottom. You can see where it here it bounced. So you have like a level of support. You can see over here bounced. Over here it kind of was riding the bottom like a catfish, and then right here just recently it hit that same line of support. So again, not financial advice. Now might be a good time to get into this pool. So let me check something real quick. Invert pair and switch to arrow. So let's see. All right. So again, you want that sideways trending action, or you want it to go up. And then another thing that you want to look out for is be careful on the ETH mainnet. If it's a pool that is on the ETH mainnet, always, always, always when you're entering, check the fees, check the gas fees. You do not want to get dinged. It's something that happened to me when I first got into crypto, and I saw a social media post with Sheeb, and I got in before it started pumping. Total luck, no skill involved whatsoever. I just happened to see it before everybody else did. Got in, made a little bit of money, but when Coinbase crashed and all that stuff, I was trying to get out, couldn't get out. By the time it came back up and I got out, I got in with a little bit more than I got out with a little bit more than I went in with. Didn't get the like the 10x or whatever, or the crazy amount that I would have gotten. But my point is that what was my point? Oh yeah, gas fees. So when I was moving my Sheeb around, I didn't know about gas fees. 100% on me. My fault, my ignorance. And I was moving my Sheeb around, and Sheeb's on ETH, and I was paying a couple $100 in gas fees every time I moved the shit. And so by the time I realized it, I think I had spent like $1,000, moving it here and there and everywhere. So that's something that you want to, especially during high traffic times, like right now with ETH dumping. There's probably a lot of freaking activity. Like the GUI right now is probably high. Let's actually take a look real quick. So GUI right now is 1.7. So I've seen it higher for sure. But so yeah, don't want to go over too much of what I'm going to go over tonight. Yeah, yeah. It's what is it that Kelly calls it? He calls it C90. He calls it like the tuition that whenever you make these mistakes, trading mistakes or like I've done it. We've all done it. Sending assets to the wrong wallet address. I burned a bunch of Polygon. I sent it to the actual Polygon address. I forget what it's called, but I sent, and it was like $500, but it's $500. But I sent it to the Polygon address, which essentially burns it. And so yeah, I basically lit $500 on fire. Yeah, we all make stupid mistakes, but that's part of crypto, and being early. The Coinbase wallet, it is a really good tool for new people. It simplifies a lot of things to where like my wallet address is pretty much my name. Or my account, on Coinbase. It's not it's not that long string of letters and numbers. So anyway, that's kind of a little bit what I wanted to cover. I mean, I can keep playing that video of that video of Bybit, the CTO and CEO and all that, talking about it. I think we all kind of know what happened. It was a smart contract exploit. Um, Again, blockchain report messaged me and made a very valid point. This could be a use case for AI. These platforms that have billions and billions of dollars of assets, having a check, just a safety check where, yeah, it's, multi-sig, signature, to where humans, each have to sign off on it, but maybe as like a final scrub, they have an AI that goes over it and does like a series of checks to ensure that the smart contract hasn't been messed with, that what they're signing, there's nothing malicious about it, just all these different things, and ensures or at least mitigates these types of exploits. The technology, this technology needs to evolve, especially if large institutions are going to use it. um, with our current system, there's plenty of exploits. I mean, there's always money being stolen and, things like that. But, um, you know, the crypto industry needs to evolve to be able to meet or exceed the current structure or the current financial system. It's cryptography. I mean, that's kind of the whole uh, kind of the whole, pro of, the pros and cons. It's kind of the whole pro of crypto is it's supposed to be secure, trustless, all these different things. This technology needs to be refined to where, um, you know, trillions upon trillions of dollars can be put on chain. We keep talking about RWAs. We keep talking about tokenization of real world assets. All of these different things. For large institutions to be comfortable putting that on the blockchain, it needs to have at least an equal, if not greater, level of security than the current mechanisms they have in place. So, hey, welcome, Papa Goose. So, yeah, I mean, it's just I have a lot of time on my hands, so I hope that I like to work out and listen to the morning shows and stuff like that. And, while I'm doing chores and stuff, a lot of times I'll listen around the property. But I spend probably 8 to 10 hours a day learning about crypto and keeping my finger on the pulse of the crypto industry. I'm not an expert and I won't pretend to be. If I tell you something, it's something that I am, and I'll tell you where my source is. But I very much enjoy sharing, my journey in crypto with all of you out there because there's a lot of malicious actors. There's a lot of influencers that take advantage of people that are new to the crypto industry. They get paid, some of them, to pump projects, and hype projects to get people to buy into them. The whole time people are buying into them, they're dumping on you. So the reason that I do this, and the people like Jeff and over at Blockchain Basement and a lot of the Hit Network people, I somewhat know those guys. I've worked with them, on a very small level, but they seem like really good dudes, and they're definitely Drew is the one I know the most, and he's a really good resource of good, solid, honest information that I haven't seen anything that he's done on camera or behind the scenes, in our conversations offline. He's never done anything that sends up any red flags for me. Jeff from the Blockchain Report, really good dude, airdrop expert. I met him. He was helping me flesh out before I knew about the Aerodrome flight school bonus. I locked up 5,000 Aero, and just like about a month later, all of a sudden I had this like magic 2,500 Aero that showed up in my wallet. And I was like, oh shit, this is, one of those smart contract exploits. And if I, interact with it, it's going to drain my wallet. So Jeff actually helped me, do a little sleuthing, online, because he's a lot smarter than I am. And come to find out that it came from a native wallet, from Aerodrome. And, we could see that it was constantly sending out, these locks to people. And so I did some more digging, and come to find out, if you deposit 2,500 or more Aero on Aerodrome and lock it, depending on how long you lock it, I locked for 4 years, so I got about a 50% bonus. So, I locked 5,000, I got 2,500. And now those locks are compounding weekly. I'm earning probably like right now, about 400 ish free Aero every month, just by letting it sit there. Actually, here, I'll show you real quick. Aerodrome. No, that's not. Yeah, that's what I want. Let me connect. And this isn't for you guys that that watch the show all the time. It's more for people if they watch this after the fact. So right here, you can see my initial lock right here. I started out with 5,000. I got a little over 6,000 now. So I've earned 1,000 over the past 2 months. And then this is the bonus lock that I got. It was 2,500, and now it's just over 3,000. So I started with 5,000, and now I have 9,000 of free Aero. So so far, from just locking up that 5,000 Aero, I've gotten 4,000 free Aero, for over 2 months. And every week I get, the way the Aerodrome platform works, the fees that they collect, they share with VE Aero holders, which is, if you do a lock, you get VE Aero, which is your voting token. And I've automated it by putting it in this VE Aero Maxi, and they vote for me, so that I always get my my airdrop, if you want to call it that. But this compounds weekly. So, as you can see, I have 9,000 now that I'm earning off of. I've started with 5,000. Now I have 9,000 that I'm earning off of. And over the next 4 years, every week that increases. And I'm earning off that new balance. That's the compounding yield. And over time, I've done some rough math. And if Aerodrome goes up to like $10, $30, by the time this unlocks, I'm going to have, a couple $100,000 or, a couple $1 million, depending on, how much it goes up. So, I didn't even commit to a cell phone plan for 4 years. Honestly, dude, I'm in crypto for the long haul. And, the way that I look at it is that these locks are the only Aero that I'm going to hold, through the bear market. I'm just going to let it grow. And, if I can take, $5,000 and, put it in a savings account, and you got BlackRock that's back in Aerodrome, you got Coinbase, that's bought, it's the go-to DeFi platform for, for base. I mean, it's no guarantee. It could go to zero, 100%. It could go to zero. However, it's not my only play. With DeFi, it's all about farming. Think of your DeFi play as farming, and everything is a little seed. This is my Aerodrome seed. I'm going to be having stuff on Sonic. I'm going to have, I have, stuff going on Moonwell, on Morpho. I'm going to have some stable coin plays going on where I'm lending and borrowing against that. Basically taking out leverage, small amount, but leveraging that to basically increase the amount of earning I can do on those. Are your rewards locked up too? Honestly, you know what? That is a good question, and I don't have an answer for you, because I don't want to unlock or withdraw my lock out of this automation, because when I re-enter it, it resets my 4-year clock. And so I've been told that, and I asked Grok. I was told that yes, I can access the earnings or the emissions that I've earned off the locks, but of course not the locks. But to be honest, I wanted to keep compounding. That is what's going to be the rocket fuel that really makes these locks the the powerful earner that they're going to be. Again, because I haven't touched them, I've almost doubled my initial investment in 2 months. It says it's only 50% APR, but again, I initially only put 5,000 Arrow in. Here after this next month, so every 3 months, I'm basically doubling. So I'll have 10,000 here in the next month. 3 months after that, I'll have 20,000. 3 months after that, I'll have 40,000. 3 months after that, I'll have 80,000. And you can see how that compounding, how powerful that compounding is. So, yeah, I am old and patient. Slow and steady wins the race. It's like on that movie with Clint Eastwood, Hamburger Hill, where those of you that are old like me, he takes off running, and all the young guys, sprint past him, and he's just doing like the nice little shuffle, and a couple miles down the road, they're all like gassed out, and he just trucks on by, just trucking along at his nice little pace. That's the way that I look at DeFi. I don't chase 10,000 percent APRs and things like that. I want good, solid, 100%, 50%, 60%. If you can just lock those in and just be consistently earning, and then taking those earnings and planting the next seed. Take all that yield. Start out with, well, here, I'll show you. My positions. Initially, I just started out with this wrapped ETH USDC, and it made me a couple $1,000, and I used that to open this other Arrow position, and then I used both of those, the emissions off both of those to open this wrapped ETH Morpho position. I used a bunch of those earnings, and I bought all my Plume. So that's why I got a bag of Plume that I'm looking to deploy over on Uniswap and earn like 160% APR, because it's one of the few Plume USDC pairs out there, and there's a Plume a Plume wrapped ETH pair as well. And then of course, I used the free yield that I'm earning off of these pools to open this USDC VVV pair, which is way down right now. But before it was down, I basically made my money back on it. So this right here is just free money that I'm letting there sit. You can see up here on Aerodrome, I actually have another USDC Arrow with 3,000 in it. This thing's earned me about $1,000, over the past couple of months. And I'm just taking all that yield, that I'm earning, and I'm just planting other seeds. I have some other platforms, like I said, Morpho. I've been stashing away some stables on there. Moonwell, I've been staking some Moonwell and earning some yield over there. And just these, this is how you do DeFi. You just want to find good. Oh, hell yeah, my USDC ETH is back in range. See, I didn't freak out when it went out of range. I didn't rebalance. Another rule: I always wait 24 to 48 hours before deciding if I want to rebalance or not. Also, I look at the markets and the sentiment if the market's going to turn around. If it went out the bottom, if I feel like that the market's going to turn around like I figured ETH would, then it's going to come back into range. I leave it alone. Don't be afraid if it's, again, assets you believe in. ETH, USDC, Arrow, Morpho, like I do. If you believe in them, you're going to be less emotional. You're going to let it marinate. You're going to let it, chill there for a bit and let it come back into range and start earning for you again. The only way, not the only way, but the way that you lose money in these, with your deposits, with your liquidity, is when you rebalance. because you still have the ability, if it goes out of range on the bottom, if it comes back into range and keeps going back up, it's going to DCA you back into that asset. So like with USDC wrapped ETH, as it goes down, as this was going, as ETH was going down and dumping, it was buying ETH. It was selling off my USDC and buying ETH. So basically, I bottomed out with a certain amount of ETH, and I can look and tell you. So basically, roughly 2 ETH was the worst that it got. Like right now, I have $58 because it's back in range just barely. So I had a little over 2 ETH, at the bottom. Now, as it goes up in this range, it's going to start selling off that ETH. It's going to DCA me out of ETH into USDC. And I might end up with like $6,000. Right now I'm at 5,400. I might end up with $6,000 in USDC because it's going to go from 26,049 to, or 2,649, sorry, up to almost $3,000. So you can see that that's the value of my deposit is going to go up. And then of course I'll rebalance, so that I can stay in range and keep earning. And then it will give me, depending on how I, make my range, if I do it equal, it will, when I rebalance, it will give me an equal amount of USDC and ETH. And as it goes up again, it's going to start DCAing me out of ETH and into USDC. If it goes down, it's going to start selling off the USDC and buying ETH. So you can see, I hope that makes sense how these move and why I like a pair that has a stable coin in it. It's easier to understand how how you're going to increase, your deposit's going to increase in value and your deposit's going to decrease in value. And track that. And then as you understand, start to understand volatile pairs, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, virtuals and ETH, pairs that move independently. It will help you understand those better, as you get more experience. That's why I tell people, start with lending. Basically, you can put your HODL bag there. There's almost no risk, almost. Again, unless you get hacked or the platform goes down, your assets aren't going anywhere. And so you're earning instead of just sitting in a wallet somewhere, not doing shit, waiting for price appreciation. Stack, put those in there, earn some, you at some dry powder so you can plus up your bags. Why not earn 10, 20%, or more? Make your bags work for you. Don't let, liquidity sit there stagnant. Make it earn for you. That's the power of DeFi. Get that dry powder, re-inject that and plant more seeds. Grow this portfolio to where you get to a point to where, when the market takes off, again, I still have the 15 grand, of value, even though the market has tanked like 40, 50% since I started my DeFi portfolio. So when it takes off, that 50% that I earned, it turns, all of that crypto is going to double and triple and quadruple. So all these bags that I got in my Coinbase wallet that are just sitting there. I have some off to the side. That I plan to sell off. As soon as Arrow gets back up, above $1.50, $2. You can use that as dry powder. And again, it's all free money. I haven't put a single dollar of my own money into crypto in the past 2-3 months. And I have probably, again, once the market goes back up to where it was at, about 15 grand of free crypto without putting a single cent out of my own pocket. I started out with 15. I've earned about 15. By the end of this month, I'll basically have doubled every 3 months. So far, I'm looking at doubling my portfolio. So start digging in. Find good, solid resources. Again, Crypto Labs research, the best one I've found so far, better than what I put out. I mean, this is just me muddling through DeFi. I hope that you guys find value in it. It's why I do it. It's why I don't monetize the channel. It's why I don't, go on YouTube and ask for you guys to buy memberships and all that silly shit. This is just me and Jeff, wanting to help you all out and help you avoid the mistakes that we make. So you don't get hacked, so you don't connect to malicious websites, tools that you can use that double and triple check before you sign a smart contract, the ways to find good liquidity pools, all that stuff. That's why we do this. And honestly, it helps me too. Again, full transparency, me researching, to do these, shows for you guys, it forces me to dig in and do deep research on these, different DeFi platforms and different tools and, really dig in. So, I'd like to thank you all for, C90 and, Deadwood. And it looks like we got some new people in here, Lars. Appreciate you, brother. Please, like and share, follow us. And Papa Guth, just all the usual Peter, all the usual suspects. I appreciate you guys, showing up. It motivates me to do these more often. We started out just doing them on Mondays at 5 p.m. Pacific. That's our hard time where we always do a show. Anytime anything major happens or I got some good info to put out, I do these pop-up shows. They might be 30 minutes. They might be 2 hours. Like I think this one, I've been rambling for quite a while. I'll probably cut it off here soon. But yeah, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel. Again, if anybody reaches out to you trying to get you to send them money or anything like that, it's not us. It's 100% not us. I don't want or need your money. I got plenty of my own. It's like, you know what I mean? So, again, thank you all. We're going to be doing a show later on tonight. I'm trying to get Jeff on with me. It's going to be about Sonic, which is, I guess, like used to be the Phantom chain. But I'm going to do some deep dives. That's why I need to go. But I'm going to do a deep dive on Sonic and the DeFi platforms, like Shadow is one of them that's on there. And, kind of, some of the unique aspects, something that's important, just like in your DeFi portfolio or any investments, is diversifying. So I've found a flaw in my portfolio. I'm way too heavy into base. I have way too much of my liquidity on, Morpho, Moonwell, Arrow. I need to start taking some of that yield and those earnings and putting it on other places like Uniswap, on AVAX, over on Trader Joe. I really want to start spreading out a little bit more so that I'm not all in one place. Again, it's risk mitigation. And so closing, looks like ETH might have. Let's check it real quick. Let's just real quick for you guys. I'll give you my unexpert opinion on where we're at on ETH, because on my liquidity pool, it looks like we might have found the bottom. Again, my unexpert opinion. So let's not do the day. Let's do the 15-minute. So this is kind of short, a short-term deal. Let's actually zoom out a bit. All right. So it looks like. Oh, here, let me share screen. Sorry. All right. So it looks like the nasty bottom was about 26.28. And you can kind of see that there was a spot back here where it ranged back on the 18th of February. It looks like it bounced off that possibly. And the farther you scroll back, you can see, kind of the same area that it had kind of reached, bounced off of before. You kind of see where it bounced here, bounced there. So it looks like it's fighting right now to stay above this level. You can see bounced here, bounced there, dip down, of course, right there, bounce there, kind of been ranging up and to the right. And then we got this dump, and now it's, hanging out at that spot again. So if it can hold this and we don't dump lower, we might have found a bottom and we might start seeing a recovery. And I think a lot of it is going to be off of sentiment and what happens with that 1.4 billion that was hacked off of Bybit. So with that, yeah, potentially Deadwood could be a great support spot for a long. I might want a little more data. I wouldn't go, I wouldn't do like a leveraged long or anything, or if you do, don't go too hard on it, unless you want to do like $100, $200 and just, kind of, roll the dice. But, yeah, I'd want to see some more info come out about, potentially some funds being recovered. It looks like, that stream that I was sharing, it sounds like Bybit is working with other exchanges, partner exchanges, to ensure that to track where that 1.4 billion is going, and ensuring that they can't off ramp them, or or actually finding ways to re-seize those assets. I appreciate you, C90. So I would personally, before I went too heavy and along on ETH, I would want to see some bullish news come out about this hack. Some of the assets getting brought back, maybe the sentiment that Bybit isn't insolvent. I don't personally think they are. I think they have enough in reserves, and it sounds like they're getting a bridged loan from some partners, and things like that. So, but yeah, no, I mean, Deadwood's right. This might, not financial advice, might be a good place to do a small long. See if you can make a couple $100. But with that, I'll let you guys go. I need to do some research for tonight's stream. Again, I'll give an update on the hack, Sonic chain, and how the liquidity in DeFi, it seems to be moving there. And we'll cover, one or two of the platforms there, because I've never used them. Again, I'm excited about it because I want to learn, about these new platforms. So with that, talk to you all later. Hope to see you later on tonight. Veteran Crypto out.